Marboa.
I was raised in a fairly religious family in California. And my mom had two main parenting mantras that she made sure we heard on a regular basis. The first mantra was said often during our adolescence and preteen years, and that was, choose the right. Not to be mistaken with swipe right that we heard about yesterday. Choose the right, make good choices in life, and typically the outcome would be pretty darn good. Be honest, be fair, be kind, be virtuous. So be kind, be virtuous. Think about those words as you're hearing that as you're a child moving up into your teen years. And then I turned 16, and I was able to go on my first date. And I got asked by Keith Sylvester. Now, Keith Sylvester was not just any boy. He was on the boys' varsity basketball team. And Keith was tall. Well, taller than me and taller than half of the boys in my class at that age. Keith was gorgeous. He was a perfect first date. He had beautiful hair, beautiful eyes. Okay, he had acne. I get it. But still, it was my first date. And Keith showed up, and my mom said right before he got there, Jamie, there's one hard rule. Before you go out on a date, they have to come in the house and meet your father and I and say hi. It doesn't matter if it's the first date or the 10th date, they will come into our home and they will say hi. So Keith knew the routine because I told him. He walks in, chit-chats with my parents, I introduce him, and we're getting ready to walk out. And I'm thinking, that wasn't so bad. They didn't embarrass me. That was good. I get ready to walk out. Mom says, have a great time, kids. And the door is just getting ready to shut behind Keith. And then she yells at the top of her lungs, remember who you are and what you stand for. You're kidding me? Talk about a buzz killer. So I heard that mantra way too many times, whether it was going on a date or whether it was having my girlfriends come pick me up so that we could go have a nice time on the town as teenagers. My eyes rolled more as a teenager than a hot dice roller on Vegas crap table. Moving on with life and those two mantras. I go to college. I get married. I have kids. I have my career. I have my degree. I realize I don't have my mom chantering and saying those things into my ear anymore. But I realized that because she had done that at such an impressive age my whole life, that it stuck with me. It was basically a part of my DNA now. And now I was saying those same mantras to my children. Sometimes what I realized with these two mantras is that it's the small choices and the decisions that we make every single day that actually influence the big consequences. Speaking about our career, I think about my 30-plus years as a dental hygienist, and I think about those small choices I made every single day, not because I was told to, not because it was a part of the standard of care, but because I knew those small choices every single day would have a huge impact possibly on my patient's life and well-being. I speak and preach from mountaintops about oral and systemic link, but that's not what I'm going to talk to you about today. I am going to discuss how those small choices as a dental hygienist changed, yes, my patient's life, but 10 years ago I decided to become a dental coach. I had some life-changing things that happened to me. I needed to make a career change. So I decided to take the rest of my savings and create business cards, Marboa Dental Consulting. And I was going to go out and pound the pavement. And I was going to talk to any dental rep I'd ever come in contact with. I was going to go to the conventions, and I was going to get my foot in that door. 3 months went by before I had my first client. And I finally got the perfect first client. He was wonderful. He had a beautiful practice. He had a team that seemed engaged and actually thought I had some quality things to bring up. They realized that the small things they did or did not do every day with their patients and with their team and with their interactions were the most important part of what the big picture looked like. So I've got my first client, my only source of income, $1,200 a month 10 years ago. But I'm happy because I know more are going to come, right? So I have to show up to the office to get some reports unannounced. So I wait at lunch till they're all gone, so I'm not interrupting them. And I see my doctor, my perfect client, with a hose of nitrous up his nose. He had the pure nitrous there. I saw my sole income in his career and life flash behind my eyes. I didn't know what to do, and I had no idea if I had the capability to do what I needed to do what I was right. And I realized at that moment that my everyday small choices had big consequences, and I did what was right. I chose the right, and I knew who I was and what I stood for.